Is that any better? It's okay, man. I had to stop it there to get the settings updated. Does it look better now? Oh, okay. False alarm then, huh? No worries, man. What are you into this early afternoon? Stream breaker. How could you? All of my viewers are gonna be so mad. Thought you might be going to watch Avengers Endgame or something. Hey, if you're available though, and you want to hop on Discord for a minute, I'd like to tweak the volumes a little bit, see if I could get our volumes right for the next time. I don't know if you caught the first part of this, but I had to actually get rid of my last recording because it was the audio chopped up real bad. So I switched mics and played around with settings and tried to get things working a little better. It's up to you though. If you don't feel like doing it right now or you can't, then we'll do it later too. Just want to try to get that resolved just in case, you know, we're on tonight, and I want to be able to hear you back in the videos and stream and stuff. Oh, you're fine. I watched the rest of your stream last night. Shinobi's no joke, man. Let's see. Kippo's gonna charge me a bunch for. Are they gonna charge me? Oh, I don't know if I can buy this actually. Let's see if I can get. Nope. This isn't really where I want to be anyway, is it? I always get turned around in here. The water palace. Isn't it this way? Who knows? Who knows what I'm doing? Not me. Let's go back down to. Did I leave out of the village north? I'm so confused. That's what I get for trying to multitask. Yeah, I left out of the wrong way. Okay, that makes sense. That's why I was so turned around. This is the way I wanted to go out. And we're talking. Hop on this little... I guess it's a frog. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's cool looking though. It doesn't matter. We can just jump into your channel if you want. Let me jump in there real quick. Is this picking me up? I think it is. Hello. Oh, I hear a boop.
Discord, I hate you.
Alright, let's look at the settings.
Or you do dumb stuff. Oh god, I've got to stop that.
Are you looping into yourself?
Yeah.
It's always fun, isn't it?
It's like I hear you, and then I hear you, and then I hear me again on the stream.
What did I do with the... Now I've lost the... Where is my audio stuff at? Oh, I'm such a stream noob. Alright, let's see. View docs.
You know, I don't know if it's the appropriate way to do it, but what I'm doing in mine is shut up, phone. I'm using just the volume. What's it called?
Yeah, the
If
mixer.
you right click on your I'm just using the mixer.
Yeah, I'm looking for mine. I lost it.
Oh, well, just right click on your thing in the thing, and it'll do it again.
Right click on your thing in the thing.
Down in the tray, the system tray, right click on the little speaker dude.
Oh, you're using that mixer. I got you.
Yeah, what are you using?
The one in OBS. It had like a little mixer that showed the input volumes.
Oh, see, I've just got mine. I've just got it all routing through that desktop one, and then I just mix it all from.
I see.
That's probably, like I said, that's probably not the appropriate way, but
That's good, but it's not gonna work for me because, well, it might.
you probably got it set up some certain way already.
I got it. Yeah, I've got it jacked up right now. Is what I've got.
Well, you'll have that.
Yeah, I saw your stream, the rest of your stream last night. That was awesome.
Man,
Dude, that
Shinobi.
Helicopter.
That scared me for a second because when I went and got on YouTube, because it's like I'm killing all the ninjas and there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
I just keep getting killed. So I went and looked it up, and I got this video, and this old boy, whoever's doing the video, he's got this like gun that shoots bombs, and I'm thinking, because like when I throw my ninja star at the helicopter, it just makes that little tink sound when it's not doing damage. And I was like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, it didn't sound like it was doing.
You can't do level select.
Yeah, it sounded like you weren't doing any damage to him. You know, that's where I was.
But then it was like 7 star throws, and it blew up.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I was happy. I should not do the level select. I keep forgetting, like, you know, I'm still in YouTube mode. Like, I feel like you have to kind of blaze through games for Let's Play.
Yeah.
But I forget. I'm on Twitch. This is the land of grinding.
Yeah.
Where people just do speed runs. Like, people sit and watch this guy. He get, like, you know, you get 10 seconds into a speed run and you mess it up, reset. Like, this is the land of grinding. I shouldn't feel compelled to blow through a game. I should sit down and enjoy it like old school, like we did, where we bought one game a year and
Right. Right? Completely.
And if the game
completely
sucked,
agree.
we were sad, but we still had to play it because, you know, we weren't getting anything till Christmas or our birthday.
Yeah, yep. Yep, totally understand. Let's see, I think I got this figured out. Alright. Alright, I think our volumes look pretty similar now.
Ah,
So, sweet.
you want
Yeah.
me to blow my mind and open up the stream and see what it sounds like?
If you want to, or I can, it doesn't matter. But they look good on the mixer, so I think they're good. I did a thing earlier where I was like recording myself, and I did like low talking, and then like acted real surprised.
Uh-huh.
Yep. My cats here in the house, they thought I was having a problem.
Oh.
They were genuinely concerned. Like,
I got you.
So, yeah, the volumes look pretty good though.
Yeah. I think this is just... I think if you have a way to just bring the overall volume up.
Oh,
the whole
everything?
thing.
I wonder if I can.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do I do that? I mean, I guess. Yeah, because nothing's really pegged.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Let's see here.
That to me is the hardest thing to deal with OBS or Streamlabs OBS too. Is there's no, and it shouldn't be expected of it either, but there's no option to
25.
within the thing to actually do some like main bus compression.
Right. Yeah, that would be nice. 38. Here we go. 55. 100.
Like that would be the thing for me, would be to compress my mic coming in, and that way I can bring the mic up, even hotter, and then I can bring the game audio up too because it's already been compressed.
Yeah. Alright, so there's going to be some weirdness here.
Okay,
Getting
well I've
ready
got
to
the
change
stream
this,
muted, so
Okay, so I've got a delay that's getting ready to come in because I didn't have that on this new mic. So I was probably talking ahead of what was happening. Alright, let's see. Close it. There. I brought everything up 25. Let's see if that makes a difference.
I need to turn my headphones back down too, because you and Discord is blowing me out, but the Twitch stream was like
Quiet. Yeah. Yeah, still, it's probably could still use a little bit of a boost, but I don't really know how to do that. I'll have to look into that. It's a good point, though. Good piece of feedback.
Are your faders on us maxed out already?
Yeah, so the faders on the voices should be maxed. Let me just make sure it's true. It said it was on the. You know what? No, that one's not being used. Okay, no, I can come up some more. Does it need to come up some more still?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. The one I was looking at, let me get rid of that. So there is a way, like you can see the volumes here, and you can adjust them numerically. So then that would mean it would be a consistent increase across all of them.
Yeah.
So let's do, that would be 45. Let's go right there. Alright, I'm going to adjust these, so just fair warning.
Dude, the music between the stream and whatever else it is I'm hearing, I guess it's your mute mic, they're perfectly out of sync to where like they are not in
Echo?
each other.
Does that mean my... Shit. Okay, I may have to play around with that some more then. 45, so 76. I just gave it the same delay that my headset had, but that might not work out. Alright, there. That should have been an overall volume increase. Did that move everything up high enough?
Okay, I'm listening to the game audio. Okay, I say something, now you say something.
Okay, hello.
You need to come up just a touch.
Okay,
And
I'll
then,
do that.
then I think you'll have it. You can get back to your games of old.
Actually, I can't come up any further. That means I'll just move everything else down just like 5 or something.
Okay. Or can you turn up, before you turn everything down, can you turn your mic up?
Oh, good point. Yeah, I got a little volume on the mic. There, how about that? See if that's any better on stream. Hello, hello, hello. No. Does it make a big difference? There, I got it. I mean, it didn't have far to go. I took it the rest of the way. See if that makes a difference. If not, that volume might not be working. Is it?
Okay, you said all that stuff. Now, what does it sound like when I say a bunch of crap? But I can't say crap. It's good now. It's good.
Good? Alright, cool. Now, if I can just, keep things this way, that would be great.
It won't happen.
I know. I feel like it changes every time I turn on, especially a mic. It's like the mic, it just always resets itself somehow.
It's almost as bad as doing the Red Barn show every week, and it changes.
It's like, how could it be so different?
That was
It just worked last week.
that was one of the most eye-opening things to how sound works. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember we do that Red Barn thing, and the sound during the day would be completely different when we came back after the sun went down after that intermission.
Yep.
I was like, that's crazy. Like, just the sun going down and the temperature going down outside has made the sound different. Of course,
Crazy.
we'd also
It is.
lose people too, but
Yeah, less bodies in the
Yeah.
room. There's so many things that go into that. It's insane.
my biggest problem that I've noticed is switching between, like, in midstream, switching between, because in mine, let me open mine up. I've got those two different, well, I've got 3 now. I've got those different scenes. And when I switch between them, just suddenly I lose game audio. And what that winds up making me have to do is delete the source of the game before it can get the audio back. And I'm not sure. I don't like doing that because I like cropping, like with the high def NES and then that Mega SG, I like cropping things out to, well, I have to do it with the FrameMeister too. I crop everything
Can
down.
you, like in mine, like I was doing that too, but then I realized I could just go to like properties and like change it to another capture source and then back, and it would maintain all the settings. It was kind of like a friendlier way to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't see why I couldn't do that because, I mean, most of the video and audio capture in
Yeah.
Streamlabs OBS, it's all the same as OBS.
OBS.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the biggest difference between Streamlabs OBS and OBS that I've found is that it's just easier to deal with the extra bells and whistles that you can put on there.
Gotcha.
Like the event list over there, like who's the most recent follower, the goal, or having the chat on stream. It's just easier. It's one step less that you have to deal with.
Yeah, I actually might look into it then, because that'll be the next thing. Is trying to figure out, because I've got a lot of real estate here on the screen because of the black bars on either side. I could just shift this off to the right a bit and do kind of what you're doing, where you have like, extra room windows for other things.
Like, and it's kind of funny too, like, because, but granted, the Master System does weird stuff. Like, sometimes the title screen will take up the full screen, and then the game will only be a part of that and shoved off up in the corner. Like Shinobi does that. Like the left, the title screen takes up the full picture that it takes up. But like the game, when you get into the game, it's kind of pushed up into the top right corner, I think.
That's weird.
And then what's weird about it too, like I've got it cropped down, and I've got it set. Like that's the one thing I'm sure OBS has got in it too. I right click on the source, and I say fit to window, and it takes the cropping that I've done, and it just pulls it up as big as a window.
Yeah.
And height wise, I mean, and then I just shove it over to the left. Now the Master System coming off the SG, it takes up maybe 3/4 or some weird 5th or 6th number
Yeah.
that I'm not going to do the math for. It takes up that, and like I can have my cam, and then like all the stuff on the right, it can all be wider.
Okay.
And then I've got this little black bar that kind of separates it. But now, when I go over here to what I've been using with the high def NES, like it's sending, and the NES does kind of the same thing too, with like, you know, the game being a little bit in a different area, but it's taking up a much larger bit of real estate. So I've got, and this is actually the setup that I've been using. I had to change, I made a new scene for the Master System, but it takes up a bunch of stuff, and now I've got like my cam cropped down to like a 4:3 square, and then all the other stuff is cropped over, and everything's just, you know, the seam where it goes from being game capture to me and all of my crap is much, like it's a much narrower strip on the screen.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of crazy to see that even though everything's using a standard screen area back then, it's still kind of different.
Yeah, like it's almost like a. I mean, it's not a different aspect ratio really, but it kind of feels like it is. You know, it's kind of acting like it is.
Well, the Master System, like just switching back and forth between them. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just using what I've assumed is what I think they said on videos. But like the Master System, like I don't have a picture on it right now. It just says no signal from my capture card. It almost looks like the, you know, on like the Super Nintendo 3DS, the ones that they put out on the 3DS, you've got Pixel Perfect, and then you've got 4:3.
Yep.
And I think even your SNES Classic has that on it. The Master System almost looks like the Pixel Perfect view. Like where it's almost a perfect square. But then what I have I don't know if I've got my NES set up to do this or not. Well, I guess I do because I've used other people's scaling settings, like for width and height scaling. Yeah. I've got it set to, instead of being pixel perfect to what the game is putting out, I've got it set to be more in line. And the same thing with everything that goes through the FrameMaster. It's set to be more like the shape of our old TVs, like we saw them. So everything's stretched just a touch.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I think that's what they meant.
Yeah, it's insane to think about like how small, like relatively speaking, how small the TVs and stuff were when we were younger.
Well,
It's like,
ours weren't.
Yeah.
Although Dad had in their bedroom, he had this, which is kind of funny because it was the furthest away TV from where the bed was.
Yeah.
But it was also the tiniest TV in the house. So like the TV in the living room, it was actually a normal sized TV, and everybody kind of sat normal distances away.
Yeah.
But it was like maybe a 28 inch or a 32 inch. So it wasn't a 32. It wasn't that big. It was somewhere between 24 and 28 inches.
Okay.
And, you know, speaking in terms of the old 4.3 TVs, that's actually pretty large.
Yeah.
You know, like a widescreen TV, that's not too big, but on the old ones, it was pretty large. Or you know, but then it was a little Sony Trinitron, and he had it up on top of these filing cabinets. But it was like a 13-inch screen.
Oh my gosh.
But he was like a good 30 to 40. I don't know. I'd have to go measure it, but
yeah, I mean, I think 27 inches was probably
it was
the
on
biggest TV I think we had when I was little.
Yeah.
That was a big TV for us. So
we started out with those two TVs, and then I guess someone got sick of the TV being taken up, so another TV was bought and put in a different room.
now I'm like, now we've got a 70-inch TV, and well, you know, you've seen it. We got a 70-inch TV in our living room, and when we move, I'm already like trying to see if I could get a 75-inch TV.
I know.
I love it.
I'm right now at the point I'd be happy with a newer 55-inch, because my TV is from right before when they started making the super slim TVs.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's the last LCD it's one of the last anyway. One of the last LCDs that had the fat back on it. It's heavy.
I'll bet it is.
But it's a 42-inch. But like the bevel that's around it, because it's still got the big bevel around it too. And like Mom's got a 55-inch, and I measured them. They're the exact same dimensions. Mom's is a 55-inch and mine's a 42-inch.
I mean,
So I know I've got room for a 55.
yeah. Yeah, I think. I mean, I can remember like when I go over to my buddy's house, or you know, we were moving in to our first apartment. Me and my buddies, like moving those big heavy TVs. Gosh, dude, I don't miss that at all.
No, and the thing was, they
those
got
days were
worse.
rough.
They got worse. Like the last TV I had was those old CRTs. They were all awful. But
They weren't pretty bad.
but those last ones that they put out that were like they weren't even actually analog TVs, they were actually digital. But they were still CRTs. And they were HD. Those things, I don't know what was in the screens, but it was a 32-inch. And that was the most miserable thing to move around.
Yeah, well, those things are. I'm glad we moved away from those.
Oh gosh. We had the last TV that they had in the living room. I don't know if it was my grandmother's or if they bought it for her while she was in the nursing home, but it was this huge mammoth of a TV. And it was still the old, like it was a 90s TV, but it was of the kind of 60s through the up until the 80s when it became like make it more out of like metal. It was like it was a 90s TV, but it had the mentality of let's make this a furniture piece.
Yep.
So it's like this 42-inch screen set in this cabinet with storage space underneath it. It was actually kind of nice, but I don't even know that we had as hard a time moving it around as we did that HD CRT that we had. I wish we still had it, but I think it blew up. We had a Zenith, and that's pretty much the TV that all the gaming took place. I wish we still had it.
I can remember the first TV that I had actually. First TV that I played games on was black and white. I was so glad to get rid of that sucker.
Well, that's true because it wasn't really. I remember a lot of people around. Like we had color TVs. I think that's pretty much all we had. You know, unless we didn't have cable or anything. We just had an antenna that we tried to pick up local stations. If for whatever reason it couldn't latch onto the signal good enough to get that color signal, we lived with black and white. But no, I guess a lot of people still have black and white.
Killed him! All right. That boss was nothing. Piece of cake.
Oh, there it is. I was like, he's not dead.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what I was doing with yesterday. I was watching your stream, like, what the heck, man? What do you mean? Yay, what? Oh, there it is. Got it.
If they can ever get that to where it can be truly live, which I don't think they can, because not even like television is truly right there live. Anyway, thought that.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like it's close enough to where you can have a good interaction with chat.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't like you said, maybe it was just the internet, but you're like, I would type something and hit enter, and I mean, it didn't feel like it was even a second later, it would be up in your chat. So it was really good last night on your stream.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got this old laptop here. It came back, and the one that fried itself, I've got it back. And did I tell you what they said was wrong with it?
No, I don't think so.
The guy got in there, and it makes me mad because Dell's people could have helped me over the phone because I was still under warranty, but they said I wasn't. And probably if I'd looked a little bit harder, which I looked awfully hard, I could have done that on my own. I may not be up on computers anymore, but by God, there's a 15-year-old in me that still knows how to go around the BIOS. The update that Alienware put out didn't erase the drive, but it erased the path in the BIOS that pointed to the drive that was the boot drive. So when it would boot, it didn't know to look where the boot drive was.
I see.
So I've got this laptop sitting here, but I kind of don't want to go back to using it and then return this one, because that one, I truly thought, like, the day that they signed out that net neutrality thing, when they turned it down, when they got rid of it, the day that happened, the internet just turned into a crap show. Like, I started calling Comcast Comcrap like everybody else. Like, it was awful. Like, trying to stream or watch a stream or I told you any of the streaming sites, it just wouldn't have it. And it about couldn't handle OBS. Like, if it wasn't in a good mood to stream or record something through OBS, it that little drop frames counter up there, it just start skyrocketing. I wound up with like 50% drop frames. This computer, like, internet's fine, there's no performance problems. It's only a year newer. I know the internet didn't get more taxing to where that other laptop couldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it probably has issues somewhere else too.
Yeah. I think with the RetroPie stuff, I'm gonna get. The one bad thing about it is it's gonna be a little more, in the weeds
Yeah.
as far as setup and stuff goes.
Oh,
Like,
you
I'm-
mean like
I already basically bricked it when I was first setting it up because I set the display. I chose the right resolution, but I chose the wrong screen refresh rate
Oh.
for my monitor. And so it wouldn't show anything on my monitor. So I effectively bricked it because I couldn't do anything.
So you've got to get in there. You've got to you've got to find out the right button presses to get it back.
Yep. So I just what I did is it's all on SD card anyway. It wasn't like I had a lot of games loaded on it yet, so I just re-imaged the SD card and put it back on there. I tried for like an hour and I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm just gonna wipe it.
I had a scary moment with that NES that I've got here. I set it to 480p. I just wanted to see what it looked like. I didn't think it'd cause any problems because the HDMI thing I've got on the GameCube, that's what it outputs to my TV is 480i.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do any upscaling or anything, but it looks great. But I just want to see what the NES will look like at 480p. I said 480i, I meant 480p.
Okay.
And I did it, and it never came back. It never hooked into the screen. I thought, oh no. So I just took my best guess. I hit the little key combo to bring up that menu, and I was like, I know resolution is the top option, and I know 720p is the second option. So I did the key command. I pushed A, I pushed down, I pushed A, and I waited for about 15 seconds, and and then it came back on. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I didn't.
Yeah, because what would you have done?
Money.
I mean, I guess you would have. What was the issue? The issue was that it wouldn't output at that.
I guess for some reason my TV doesn't like the high definition 480p. I don't know. I have no idea.
You would have just had to go and find
I just start plugging it into all the TVs in the house. Like, please display. Please.
Does this work? No. Okay. That's pretty funny, actually.
Because the thing too is, I don't think. Because like the AV out still works on it too, so if I really wanted to go back and look at how it looked, I could hook up the AV.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't think the menu will output on the AV port. because the way it's the high definition, that little PCB that the chip and all that stuff's on, it's pulling the picture before it gets to the analog processor, the D to whatever it is. It's pulling the picture before it ever leaves the chip.
Yeah.
That's generating the image. So it's getting a digital image. But the thing coming out of it, so it's getting it before it hits the AV port. So I don't know that the menu would ever show up on it.
Yeah, it's easy to do. It's easy to do stuff like that, man. Like, I was like, I can't remember if it's 30 megahertz or 60, so I'm just gonna go with 60. It's probably 60. It wasn't 60.
I'm surprised it's not 30.
Oh, it was
60.
30.
I mean 60.
Yeah.
Because that's what all those games run at.
Yeah, I think the game could handle it. It's also going through the Hauppauge or Hoppage or whatever.
The Hauppauge.
Yeah, I've heard three different. I've heard somebody else call it a Hauppauge. I don't think anybody knows how to say that.
Is that the French version?
I guess. I don't know. I like calling it the Hoppage because it's like the Hoppa.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on the Hoppa. You remember that old commercial?
For Dish, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were talking earlier about how, you guys, you did try to use the antenna to get local station. Now, that's something when I got a little bit older. We actually had one of those giant satellite dishes in our backyard.
We finally wound up at that too.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, G5 channel 13 or whatever.
Yeah, it was. So my dad knew somebody, I guess, that did those, and he gave us a deal. And they even got it like set up so you could control it. You know, for a while you had to go out and manually crank it, you know, to point it at the right satellite. But then you know, eventually you got a remote control that did it.
Yeah,
It would automatically adjust it.
we never had to go out and do it ourselves. We had the I think it was an Echo Star receiver,
Okay.
and it had when we got it had the automatic thing in it itself. It was, you'd be in here and you just punch in what satellite you wanted it to look at, and then when you got it there, then you pick the channel you wanted to watch.
Yep. Dude, that takes me way back too. Gosh. You have all this hardware like inside. You have like these 3 different components, you know, like or something. I don't know. We had like 3 different components together. I mean, you had the receiver, then you had like a descrambler, and you had something else.
Like
There
that was
some
their
other box together.
that was the solution to the anti-piracy for them.
Yeah.
Because those satellites, I mean, as long as you had like the right codes, you could set that descrambler to just undo everything.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought about this. You know, everything that's digital, it's kind of spectacular what we can do now with like the technology we have. All that old mechanical stuff, the way we used to have to do everything,
Yeah.
it was actually magic.
It was.
You think back to how they used to try to, and I guess now it's just all it's small and handled at a smaller level, but it's just it's amazing anything works.
Completely agree. Well, and it's like, I don't know, it's so many things are like that too then, you know, like things just had to work, like they had to work.
I know.
You know, there was no patching or no, you know, software update. It's like, if this thing doesn't work, it's as good as a hammer without a head, you know?
Yeah.
It's not gonna do
You know
us any
what's
good.
I tell you what's kind of interesting about that, the deeper I've gone into games, we talk about how all the old games, you never had to patch them. They came out and were fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that's actually true. Cause
Yeah?
well, so take me to the past for example.
Yeah.
That is a broken, like, we got a patched version here in the States. And, you know, how would we know? Because information just wasn't that readily available back then like it is now.
Yeah.
But the version we got was patched. Like, there's a lot of these glitches that these speedrunners are doing on the Japanese
They
1.0.
can't do.
You can't do it in
Yeah.
ours. Like, the Japanese version
true.
is a broken game.
That's true. Yeah, so we sort of got their one take. We sort of got their one take at a patch, right? It's like,
Yeah.
we got version 2.0.
Well, and you know, Ocarina, it's got 3 versions.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, like the gold cartridge and all the Japanese cartridges are all 1.0. I think
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
and
I think when I think about patching, though, I think about like software, like automatic updates, software-wise, right? Like pulling down something from the internet.
no, I
Not
mean, it's still
necessarily like a
technically
new-
patched. If you know, it's just, you know, did you get the patched version or did you get the original version?
Right.
But I see what you're saying. You're considering a patch like actually downloading it.
Well, I'm saying if somebody were to release that game and that game got out to me as a consumer, this is just a one-use basis, right? I got the game and I found a bug in it. They can't fix it. But not my copy. They can fix it for other people, but my copy is permanently broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I consider a patch.
Okay. Because I guess there is a lot.
But
of
yeah,
that.
you're totally right though. Like all the speedrunners that use like even the original Legend of Zelda, right? There's things in that too that like the glitch where you go from one side of the map to the other. That's not in the?
I think
is that in the US version?
I think it is, but there's a specific pixel that you've got to get on to get that to work.
Really?
Yeah, I looked after
That
we
is
talked about that. I went and
amazing.
looked it up because all these speedrunners are using. They're not Japanese cartridges. They're using. They've all got English text in it.
Yeah, that's true. That was another thing that I wondered too. Is like how do they do that? But I mean, Link to the Past is English too, right? When you're watching people play that.
Most people are playing the Japanese cartridge if they're speedrunning.
Okay.
Now the
So I was
randomizer.
watching a stream yesterday. Well, that's true. It might have been. It was randomizer. Now.
Okay,
that you
yeah,
say
because the
that, you know,
randomizer,
you're
like
right.
they've gone through
Yeah.
and ripped all the Japanese text out and put some of the silly stuff in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm still kind of new to the whole speedrun randomizer stuff. So
Yeah. That's fun watching those though.
oh man, the retro channel right now, the Retro League or whatever the heck it's called. I love
I've
watching
seen a
that
bunch
channel.
of speedrunners talking about being on that.
It's great. Like I watched a guy today beat Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden for the Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow. I'm not sure. I think there's some of the guys that I follow that follow me. I don't want to say their names though and be wrong.
Yeah.
I think they're doing stuff on that retro thing. I'm not sure.
That's awesome.
I'm back to fight the
Jabberwocky!
Jabberwocky! This thing wrecked our mom back in the day. We got to it. We had to go grind so hard to beat it.
Oh, he's sleeping. I was like, dude, what are you doing over there? He's sleeping on the job. Oh,
Yeah, boy. He's fine. He just needs to stand up. Oh, I see what you're doing. Hope you got some fairy walnuts.
oh yeah.
Did you learn your lesson the other day?
Yeah, I did actually. Oh, that's so annoying about this game sometimes. Like you tell somebody to cast a spell and it doesn't take.
Yeah.
Like they're either recovering from an attack or they get hit before they can issue the command and
You
it
mean like-
doesn't like backlog.
Right there.
Yep.
What I like to
Well, I
do,
was complaining about it.
what I wound up doing, I cast the magic before the game can register and show me how much damage it did. So like by the time
that's a good
I
idea.
run out of magic, it's just run the total up and it says it just comes out $9.99. It's like we're out, we're done, we're not counting anymore.
We give up. You did a lot of damage. It's a lot. There you go. Oh man.
Making
Yeah,
some
it's
pretty
like
good
one of my
progress, man.
favorite weapons. Yeah, crunching right through them. Now you know it'll be a stop and build things up a bit,
Yeah.
but that's all right. Oh man, upper land, can't wait. You know what this game makes me want to play though is Crystalis on the NES.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, you got the build-up. You had the same sort of thing in Crystalis, you know, with the different elements, too. And, oh, man, that game's so good.
I'm hoping because you heard that they trademarked, they being Square, they trademarked in Europe or the UK or so. They trademarked the name Collection of Magic,
Ooh.
which kind of lends to the rumor mill of maybe we're going to get the collection that they got in Japan. But they also they only trademarked. Oh crap! What did they call that game? The first one. What did they call it? Final Fantasy Adventure.
Yeah.
They only
Final
trademarked that.
Fantasy
They only
Adventure,
trademarked that name or whatever it was over there. They trademarked that name and Secret of Mana. They didn't trademark a third name, which would be the one that we never got.
Yo, isn't that, what is it? Seiken Densetsu 2 or something is what it's
No,
called?
it's the third game.
Oh.
Because the first game, I forget what they called it over in Japan. It's something Seiken Densetsu. And then this one that you're playing right now, Secret of Mana, is Seiken Densetsu 2. And then
Oh, that's what this is. Okay.
yeah, and then the one we never got is 3. I'm hoping that irrationally, I'm hoping that we get 3/ it'll be Secret of Mana 2 here. If they are actually going to put that collection out, I hope that they go through and do that and put that third game out. But if they don't, I'm going to have to go find me a Japanese cartridge and find a way to play it.
I wanted a sequel to Chrono Trigger.
We did get one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
let's not talk.
very do what now?
Let's not talk about it.
Oh, did you not like it?
I'm in a good sequel.
Dang. Now,
I mean,
hold
I
up.
liked.
I
like-
Do you mean you wanted a good sequel because I felt like Chrono Cross was a good game, or did you mean that you wanted a more direct sequel that wasn't so separated from Chrono Trigger?
Well, so
I'm trying to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
well, so Chrono Cross by itself is a good game. I'm not saying it was a bad game. I don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a big fan of the game, obviously. But not that I don't like
So
the
much
game.
for the redemption story.
Well, I mean, I just played it once, played through it, but wasn't it? And it's been years and years, but wasn't it a prequel to Chrono Trigger?
No, it's after.
It's after. Okay,
Uh-huh.
all right. Because there was a game in the works that was, so Square wasn't going to work on it, and this independent company worked on it for a while. These indie gamers, basically these indie developers, and Square shut them down. But I can't remember now. Actually, it's been too long. But they were working on it, and Square just like
what was supposed to be like everybody kept talking about Chrono Break.
yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Because that's been kind
I
of
mean,
persistent
dude,
rumor
this was
forever.
this was probably. I'm trying to think of how long ago this was. This was probably 14 years ago or something, right? It was.
Oh.
It was a really long time ago.
No, you're talking about they were going to remake all of Chrono Trigger in 3D. Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it was. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Dude, that actually looked so promising. Like, I was so hyped about it. I thought it was going to be good, It did.
Square shut him down. I thought I had to go search back through the files, but
Yeah, I liked that idea. I don't know, I'll tell you what else I like too for I think it was N64 Legacy of the Dragoon. Did you ever play that? That was a good game too.
my 64 exposure is very light.
What about Legacy of the Ninja or Legacy of the Mystical Ninja?
Gomon.
Did you play? Yeah,
I rented
Did you
it.
play that?
I never could figure out what to do.
So the Super Nintendo version was good, but the N64 version, when you play the old man and he's like, when you can make him like crawl on the ground, that is the funniest thing ever. I put that on my list, the SNES version, just because I was like, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
Need to get through it.
So was the one on 64? Did it not make the transition into 3D all that well?
From what I can remember, it was okay. But you know, it's tough, right? It's jaded because at the time, you know, anything that was attempting to be 3D was super cool, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, was it really that good? Probably not.
I just
know,
but there's a lot of those old Mario and Sonic wannabe characters
Yeah.
that
yeah.
they did pretty good in 2D, but they just couldn't make the jump into 3D. Like
Yeah.
Nintendo, I don't know
do-
how Nintendo did what they did, but like, you know, people like to say that Mario 64 is old and antiquated and doesn't control it very good.
Yeah.
I just, you know, for that being a first attempt at controlling something in a 3D space, it's still, like, maybe it's not as solid controls as Odyssey is. That game is still rock solid to me.
Dude, that Mario 64 is probably, I mean, it's up there with just it was just super,
Yeah. And even
I mean, groundbreaking. That game was so amazing. Like how they transitioned that world into a 3D world was just amazing.
It set one of two standards that could have been for 3D platforming. Because you had it and you had Crash. Both of them, either one could have become the standard for 3D platforming.
Yep.
Because both were so well received, you know. But
Yep.
you know, even Ocarina, for all the problems that I have with it now, control-wise, it's still great.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they put enough thought into the game to realize, you know, this is gonna be kind of tough if we don't do Z targeting. You know,
They
like I
do.
really like the Z targeting.
You know, they knew that you had to have something.
Yep. This is by all means my favorite way of transportation in any game. It's the best
all
ever.
it is. Like, they knew they had to have fast travel because the map is so huge. But you know that they thought, like, this is early on in the game before they got to where they had Flamey. Spoilers, but you know, it's like, we've got to have mode 7 in something. What are we going to use it in? Let's use it on this cannon
Yep.
sequence. Then they come up with Flamey for a flying, the flying
Yeah.
thing. Air. What are they called in Final
Airship.
Fantasy?
Airship. Yeah.
But then they said, "Oh, this is our mode 7 use."
Yeah. So, you know, like, you have so much knowledge of this stuff. Like, when you said that, I went back and watched, you know, because you had put a comment on my stream about Mode 7 whenever I went back, so I went back and looked at the comment that you left there. And I was like, Mode 7, what's that? I had no idea. I mean, I knew what, I mean, I obviously can recognize the style, but I didn't know that's what it was called. So
Well,
then,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
that,
I don't
that
know
spurred
anything
me
other
on
than that's what it's called. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's really cool though, because it's like it allows it basically allows them to put something down, scale and rotate it, but it can't be something you can interact with. So they have these different graphical modes, and Mode 7 just happened to be the one that was on. They added that to the SNES chipset.
Well, like Mario
And-
Kart, all of Mario Kart's mode 7, I think.
Exactly. But if you notice in Mario Kart, okay, so a perfect example, and you know this, just like I knew it when I read it, but it makes sense. In Mario Kart, when it does the Top Gun stuff, kind of look out whenever you're passing a cart, right? The enemy cart is distant, so it's a distant sprite. You get a little closer to it, and it changes to a closer sprite. And the closer you get to it, it has like 3 or 4 different sprite variations.
It's 3D, but in the sense of how they built like Doom and stuff back in the day.
Exactly.
Like, it's not actually 3D. They've just done some really clever stuff with their sprite work.
Yeah, and Mode 7 like is just the ground. it's not the sprites. The sprites had to be hand drawn or manually put in for each
Okay.
one of those.
I see what you're saying.
So it's all about, like, I watched somebody do a shooter game, Axel Ray, is that right? Something
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
And that entire game just about is mode 7. Like the entire game, like when you're flying forward instead of like the side scrolling version,
Yeah.
almost the whole thing is mode 7.
Man.
And it looks okay. It wasn't bad considering the time that it came out in. I mean,
You're talking about Axelay.
Axelay, that's it. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
I've got that. Like, that was one of the things that I bought when they said the Wii shop was going to close.
Oh, I got you.
Those My Life in Gaming, they put out a video of like, well, here's a bunch of stuff that you might want to buy that's good that you can't really get anymore unless you're willing to shell out. Looking at it on eBay, $150 for a box copy.
Yeah.
And Axelay was one of those, so I've got it on my Wii.
That's awesome.
It's
I actually really want to play it. Like it looked really fun,
Yeah.
Like something I could definitely play.
and that's why I went and bought it, because when they were showcasing it on that episode that they put out, it must have looked like something to me.
What is this? Crystal orb. I don't think I have what I need for that yet. Let's try this. I don't remember. It's been too long since I played this.
No,
Nope,
I don't think
that's
you're ready
it.
to go over there.
Don't go that way. It's like crossing a bridge in Dragon Warrior. Don't do it.
I haven't played that much Dragon Ball just yet.
Well, that's on my list too. I want to play through those again.
It's on mine too. What all do I have to get through? Or I'm not holding myself to this list, but it's nice to have it in front of you.
Yeah.
Let's see, I've got Top Gun, Phantasy Star, Uka Uka, Shinobi, Mario Bros. 2, Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, Ninja Gaiden, Mega Man 2, Turtles if I can find a copy, and then the original Earthbound. Mother 1. I got all that to go before I get to Dragon Ball.
I'd like to play through Earthbound. The Mother 2, the one that was, I guess that's SNES, is that?
Yeah, the Earthbound that we got.
I tried to play through some of it though, and it's hard for me to play through it, I'm gonna be honest.
What about it's hard for you?
The setting is a little funky. I don't know. The setting is a little weird. I'm having a hard time settling in on it. Now, granted, I literally, it was when I got the SNES Classic, I just popped it on there and played a little bit of it. But it's unique. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be one of those ones that I've got to give it some time to set. Like get a little deep into it, get a little more invested.
Yeah.
Like I almost have to do that with every RPG, because when I start, like even Zelda's, man, when I started Zelda, it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it sounds like that's
Yeah.
what you were thinking about. It sounds like that's what you were thinking about Earthbound.
Yeah, kinda. And I think it's different for games that I played before because I have the nostalgia to sort of pull me into the game a bit.
So
Like,
when
this is going to be a great story. It's like, I know kind of what's going to happen and I know it's going to be awesome.
So when you play something like Earthbound, it's almost like breaking out a new game.
Yeah.
My biggest fear with the Earthbound series, like I know going into the NES one, which is technically the first one, the one we got is the second one. I know going into that one that it's not going to be all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Like that's not the one people talk about. The one people talk about is our Mother 2/Earthbound and Mother 3. That's the ones that people talk about. But my biggest fear is when I get to the Super Nintendo Earthbound and I play through it, is that I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
Now,
Because a lot of people really praise that game.
See, that's why I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. It's because it like some games that I'm fearful of because of this reason is that one, Earthbound, Mother 3, Final Fantasy 7. I'm worried about playing those games because they have a lot of hype to live up to.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't have the problem of comparing. I do more now, but I don't have a problem with like playing an old game in a modern setting and being like, well, this game is hot garbage. It's like, well, you know, you got to be in a mindset of the time it came out. So I'm not too bad about that, but like my big thing with Earthbound is I've not been spoiled on Earthbound, so I don't really know what I'm getting into. But like Undertale, everybody that I know say you're gonna love Undertale, but the problem, everybody that I know that told me that told me, you know, there's a gameplay element to that. Have you played Undertale?
No, I can't get into it graphically, honestly.
Oh, you
I have a hard time with it.
Are you going? Do you ever intend to play it?
I mean, I'll forget we had this conversation in a week, man. So if you're worried about spoiling something, you're good.
Well, there's
my memory's awful.
There's an element to the gameplay in Undertale that's actually a huge story spoiler. And everybody said, when you're playing this, don't do this specific thing. And it's like a staple of every RPG you've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do. But everybody said, don't do that, so I played the game not doing that. And I did not get... I think in not in being spoiled on that, I didn't get the experience that I was supposed to get.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to... Okay, so you said you'll forget, so I'll just tell you. Spoilers to anybody watching. Turn off now.
Go back.
Click back. So the spoiler is, you know, you go through the game and, you know, you don't know what you're doing. You get attacked by an enemy, so you kill it. Typical RPG fare.
Yeah.
Well, and you build up your LV. You build up your level. You think it's your level. And then the fatter skeleton that you see on everything, like he's kind of I guess I don't know what his deal is because I didn't do it. But you get to the end of the game and you find out you've been building up this. You've killed everything and that you've built up this meter and you've actually gotten the worst ending in the game that you can because you killed everything.
Oh, okay.
So
that's awful.
Yeah, so you get to the game and you're like, oh, I'm a terrible person. And you get this experience.
God,
so then, then you reset
terrible. You're
start
right.
over, which there's a whole nother bag of worms with resetting your game too.
Okay.
Like I don't know everything about it, but like Undertale has got like more spoilers. You reset your game, but it knows that you've reset your game, and it knows how many times you've reset your game to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
And it'll let you know too. But so you reset your game, and then you go back and you spare everybody like you're supposed to. Like there's gameplay elements to spare everybody, and then you get to the end and you get the good ending. And I didn't do that. I just spared everybody going through because everybody told me, said, don't kill anything. It's like, and then when I get to the end, and then you realize, oh well, part of the experience is getting that bad ending.
Yeah, understanding that you.
So it.
Yeah.
Undertale. I think that's why Undertale was such a letdown for me because I got to the end and it's like, oh, I got the good ending. Like I didn't. The whole point to me of playing a game is to experience the game. And if
Yep.
you spoil that big mechanic, which sorry if you ever go to play it, you're spoiled.
That's fine.
You get this game like that. That's the whole point of the game, is to not kill everything. But I didn't get to learn that naturally through the game. It's like when you're trying to play this game. You're trying to play this game, and you finally give up because you can't find the thing, and then you go and look up the thing in a strategy guide or an FAQ, and you see where it's at, and you're gonna have one of two reactions, and it's usually the first one. You're either gonna say, "God, I'm so stupid," or "How was I supposed to know that?" But it's usually "I'm so stupid," and then you feel cheated.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, especially when you're like right there, like you almost found it. That's usually what happens to me. If I've ever had to go look something up,
You've walked past
I've been
it
so
50
close. Yes, I've been so close to figuring it out, but I don't.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. Because, both of us grew up same sort of era, right? Where it's like,
You got a
we're
little
back
bit more.
from
You had a little bit more of a connection, I think, to the NES than I got to have. But yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much because.
Yeah, because then, like, if it was a big time effort if you wanted to, like, if you couldn't figure something out and you had to look it up, quote unquote, most of the time it wasn't like you could just go find that. It was usually you had to hope it was in Nintendo Power, and if it wasn't in Nintendo Power, then you had to call the hotline.
Yeah.
And then you really had to feel it's like Walk of Shame, right?
Mhm.
Only had to do that once,
And you had
and
to pay
that
for
was
it.
awful. Yeah.
Hey, you had to pay to go on the Walk of
Exactly.
Shame.
Exactly. So,
I remember one of the biggest things that I tried to find out, or couldn't figure out, rather, not tried to find out, couldn't figure out, was in Sonic 3 in Carnival Night Zone.
yeah.
Like, I couldn't beat the game. I'd get to that place, and I thought that they'd actually made it, like that was the end, because I couldn't get past it. Those barrels in Carnival Night Zone that go up and down.
Oh yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know if you've ever played the game or not.
I have. Yep.
Okay, so I would, the game teaches you fall on the barrel and it goes down, and if you jump up and you jump off of it and hit it as it goes down, you'll push it down further. So I tried to do that to get past this one part, and you just can't do it. It's not possible. I'm sure someone has done it, but it was not
Someone
possible.
somewhere, but
Yeah,
yeah.
someone managed to break the game, but and I bet you I had. It was well after Sonic and Knuckles came out, so like I'd had the game 6 months and had not gotten past this point. It felt like 2 years to me, and I finally broke down and called the Sega hotline. It's like 1-900-200 Sega. And I said, I'm at this point and I cannot figure out what to do, man. Like, is there anything beyond this point? How do I get past this point? And I said, oh, you just get up on the barrel and you hold up while it's going up to make it go further up, and you hold down while it's going down to make it go further down. Okay, thanks. You can have my $2 for this 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I go and then I beat the game.
The only thing that I ever had to call the hotline on, was the one thing that stumped me in Mile Secret Castle.
Go around
So
in a circle,
I got-
going the other way, dude.
What's that?
I've watched you go around this area for a while.
I know. I can't find. I know it's here. I just don't know where it's at.
Go-
I keep walking around aimlessly
Go
looking.
winter, spring, summer, fall. Just go around in that circle, going around like counterclockwise. Go around that way a
Yeah, that's
couple
what
times,
I'm-
and it'll finally do something.
Spring, summer, fall.
So like go back to the left.
to the left. Okay.
And the only reason I'm telling you this is because you haven't found the NPC that tells you to do it yet.
Yeah, where? Maybe I did, and I just was like, I was talking over it or something. I'm not very good at multitasking.
Gosh, I'm not.
All right, so down. So this
listen,
is.
someone
This looks
does-
like
Oh, you know what? I
spring.
think Nico might. No, this is winter. So go down.
No, I'm in spring. You just don't see me in spring.
Oh
yet.
well, then go from spring, go all the way to the right, and up to summer. Or actually, just go all the way to the right, rather.
That's what I did wrong. Okay, yeah.
And then from summer
because I
you
went
go up to
left
fall.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go around that path a couple times, because the path that you want is that up beyond that little pond. Welcome to the Bodgetindo hotline.
Boston.
Speaking
yeah.
of that.
Oh.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, you're going right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. So, I had to call Nintendo hotline for one thing, and it was for My Island Secret Castle. And the reason we had to call it is we couldn't figure out where to go next in the game. I don't know if have you seen me play the game?
I watched your Games of Old.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I played through that, and there's a lot of outdoor areas where you gotta like bust walls with a hammer, and just do crazy stuff. This is what I'm looking for. I guess I just keep going. All right.
Well, I don't know where you're at, but yeah, it's off to the left. It takes you back to Ritter.
All right, around we go again. So then I went in this. Well, anyway,
Not
so
to cut you
I
off,
couldn't
like
figure out
how
where to go.
Yes, silence on the computer-controlled player. I'm gonna invert your controls. Not really.
Yeah.
Anyway, you called about My Island Secret Castle.
Yeah, so I couldn't figure out where to go, and I had to jump in the stupid well. It's all I had to do, but I couldn't figure it out. And it's like right there in front of you the whole time, you know? It's
So
like,
the
God dang
question
it.
becomes: is there anything in the game that told you,
Nope.
in any variation of vagueness terms, to go in the well?
No, because the problem is, well, so maybe vague. I don't know, actually. I don't remember. There are people you can talk to that kind of give you some weird cryptic hints. You know how it was.
Yeah.
So it's
Dig
possible.
Dogger hates certain kinds of sounds.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah, that didn't help us because we didn't have the little microphone in our controllers.
Right, we couldn't scream or blow or whatever, you know. So, but yeah, as soon as we called about that, like, dang, first time we already called, and it was something like that. I mean, we're going around trying to bash holes in imaginary, like, in the walls, like just randomly pressing the A button against the walls. We didn't think to try to go in the well. Like, come on, how did we not think of that?
Like, that's my big problem with Metroid.
Yeah.
And, I haven't looked in the manual. Maybe it says something in the manual. Because a lot of times, some of that stuff is in the manual.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I don't like. Like, how are you supposed to know that those little bubble blocks break when you drop a bomb in front of them? Or like when you're in one of the upgrade rooms and the floor can just be bombed out and you can go down that little pipe into another room. How are you supposed to know that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Without a strategy guide or calling.
I know. Well, that was just because that was your game for like a year. So you would eventually figure it out. You just had to just bash your head against every wall that you could find, or just run around pressing the A button, or it's just they just expected you to do some crazy stuff.
I mean, I agree with you, but it's still, there's some of that, there's no way you could ever figure that out.
No,
Unless it was an accident.
Yep. I mean, my mom, and my dad, we used to play games all the time. We figured things out. There's no way you should be able to figure it out. That was just par for the course in the NES days.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, we were talking about this before. I think on your stream, you're playing Legend of Zelda, like pushing through a wall. I mean, why the heck would that work? Why would you ever try that?
I know.
There's not a hole there. Why would you even be there? Let alone, why would you? You know what I mean? But it works.
Hang on. I've jumped the gun on you.
Was I supposed to go somewhere else? I feel like I'm.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like I really am running in circles.
Let's see. Well, you are, and you will have to do this again later. We're just not to that point yet. Go back.
It's okay. I'm using the opportunity to get some much needed levels anyway. So.
Well, I understand.
I kind of hate to kill these owls. They kind of don't look very harmful.
They're the ones that are backwardsing you.
Yeah, it's so fun when they do that. It really makes you question a lot of things for just a minute.
Yeah, I still like it when they do it to the computer-controlled character, though. It's like the computer's
really
not
throw 'em
smart
off.
enough to know to not attack the other computer. I guess it's assuming that there might be a player on it.
What's this?
So it says use the northwest exit. Is that?
This is it.
No,
Found it. This is different. I'm fighting hedgehogs.
This is where you get the hint. Sorry.
It's all right.
I was
Just glad I'm done running in circles for just a little bit.
Yeah,
I'll
just
take a
for-
break and then I'll go back and run in circles here in a minute. It's fine.
I jumped the gun on you just to shade.
People leave and come back an hour later. Nope, still running circles, people. It's fine.
Yeah. You haven't missed anything. There are no refunds available from Bodgtendo Hotline.
It's funny. Alright, I'm tired of swinging at this guy with the sword. It's not hurting him any. So, try the whip. The hitbox is a little funky in the whip, too.
Yeah. This game is actually kind of clever too because they thought like, okay, you know, the part of the whip that's going to hit the guy is out at the end, so you've got to get away from him to hit him. Like that's a small thing; it's not a big thing. But
Yep.
now leave and come back.
Oh, we saved the Moogles. Yeah, I probably should have been paying attention to the dialogue while we were talking. Because they were saying something about not being back in their village.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now one
There
of
it is. Yay.
Oh, did Gadget get knocked out and figure out the hint that I already gave you?
That's great.
Spring to winter, spring again, and we can enter. Yeah. Yay! Now you can get started.
Right.
Oh yeah, you've got some orbs here to get.
Look at all these orbs. You know, another thing that's really cool about this is it changes the way a lot of the weapons look when you upgrade them too. Like there's a
Oh,
lot
it
of things
changes their
about this
looks,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so neat that it did that, you know?
You know, that's something about Link to the Past that I never realized until a couple years ago. Like, I don't think it does it for like the Pegasus boots or for the Moon Pearl. Well, the Moon Pearl is just you don't turn into a bunny when you go to the Dark World.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do it for the boots or that, and I don't think it does it for the flippers. But for all the, like the blue mail and the red mail, and then the swords, those are the ones that you can see really good.
Yep.
But there's a very subtle when you get the gloves and when you get the mitts. Like when Link doesn't have those, his hands are painted the same color as his skin. That little 4-pixel square in there.
Yeah.
But when you get the power gloves, if you look really close, his hands are gray.
I had no clue, dude.
And
That's
then when you
amazing.
get the Titans mitts, they're, of course, you know, they're golden color, but when you get them, they paint his hands green.
That's awesome.
Now sometimes it glitches out and goes back to skin color, but as soon as you screen transition, it's right back to the right color again. So
It's amazing. I had no idea that. I thought you were going to say you had no idea the sword changed, and I was really going to question a couple things.
you thought what now?
You had no idea that the sword changed color.
No. I knew the sword changed colors. I'm not that bad.
It's like, are you sure?
No, I'm not that bad. But, Secret of Mana, man. The only thing that would have been better in Secret of Mana is if they'd actually put like the armor changes on them too.
I always wanted them to do that.
I was hoping they'd do that with the remake, but they only did it with the dang leopard print for the girl. I was like, really? That's the one that you want to make change?
That's the one. Yeah, of course.
But the weapons, though, like the sprite, it's fun to see the sprites change.
It is. I mean, they do a really good job, like with them. They look really like even in the menu, like they look like something. You know, like ooh, that's really cool. You know, like they start looking a lot better. Like look at this axe. Like that axe looks pretty awesome now
Yeah.
compared to its first variation.
Well,
The whip's just sort of changed colors. It's not really done a whole lot yet. but-
Right now, you've got the neon sign whip.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got the Vega claws. You know, gotta have that. Vega's missing claw. We found it. It's in Secret of Mana.
Yeah. That's where it went after we broke it. It went in
Yeah.
Mana somehow.
Well, it's actually about time for me to break for a bit. I've got to actually go put tires on my truck.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Are you going to be
it's
going
always
later
nice
tonight, or are you done for the day?
No, I'll be on later tonight. I got schoolwork done already, so I'm ahead of the game for today. I'll be streaming some tonight. So.
I'll try and catch you tonight.
All right, man.
Tonight, so thanks for letting me invade your stream again.
Hey, man, I'm glad you came on. Thanks for helping me test out the audio stuff too, and thanks for giving me some feedback. That helps a lot. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right, buddy. I'll talk at you later.
All right. See y'all, Pixel
All right,
Grease
see ya.
people.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll pick up here next time.